Hi, I'm Gail, and I'm a Master of Library Science student at Emporia State University. I'm going to share with you information about graphic novels. My goal is to confirm the value of this format, not only for entertainment, but education as well. So let's start with a definition. Graphic novels are produced for many ages, in many genres, fiction or nonfiction, and some are considered literary. Take a look at this jacket of award-winning author Jane Yolen's newest novel, Foiled. It looks like it's getting a lot of attention already. Graphic novels are basically a visual presentation of words. They tell a story through sequencing images complemented by text, sometimes narrative, sometimes dialogue. Text can also complement artistically through placement and design, and most often is contained in bubbles.
Daniel Boom has yellow.
Okay, so the other guys have white.
Yeah, they have white. Daniel Boom has yellow.
And that means he's being loud.
Yeah.
Will Eisner, the creator of Mad Magazine, popularized the term graphic novel in 1978 as a supposed higher form of comics. Graphic novels are also known as graphic narratives, sequential art or comic books, visual fiction, visual nonfiction, and manga is a popular Japanese comic. Total sales of graphic novels in the United States and Canada in 2009 was 370 million. So what do we think about graphic novels? Well, an organization called the Comics Code Authority, formed not long after World War II in the 1950s, became concerned about the seduction of the innocent, and they aimed their efforts at comic book censorship. Its organizational life has had its seasons, and although it's not widely used today, book vendor BWI, or Book Wholesalers Inc., acknowledges the Comics Code Authority in their selection warning. Some concerns are real, but not universal, such as violence, nudity, sexual content, language, and objectification of women. Clearly, selection is a process of discernment. There's also social context in which hardcore graphic novel fans reside, with insider references, kind of making it uncomfortable for the novice to appear not in the know. And finally, some think that graphic novels are just fluff.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be under the impression that comics can't be anything other than, say, escapist fluff, and that therefore they're somehow corrosive to young minds. Comics is basically just a medium for telling stories and conveying information. It's not really any different from prose or from movies or, from any other kind of information you would look at.
For those who think this format is an easy way out for reluctant readers, consider this. Comics deal with two major communication tools, words and images.
He's learning. He's using pictures to interpret what's going on in the story, besides just words. So I think he's using different parts of his brain instead of just, reading words and being, getting one input. He's getting two different inputs.
Think about popular language learning programs such as Rosetta Stone. It uses dynamic immersion with the help of visuals to place the language into context, improving comprehension and memory.
When you're looking at a comic, you're looking at something that was interpreted through an artist's eye and hand, and that says a lot. And that's always something to talk about if you're discussing something educationally.
He is kind of indifferent, maybe a little mad at something. You can tell by the expression in his eyes and his mouth mainly. Those, in anime at least, are the major indicators of the emotions of anime characters.
Good readers develop sensory images to comprehend meaning. Although we can master the decoding skills needed for reading, knowledge of letters and phonemes, for example, text only becomes accessible when we have the comprehension strategies necessary to unlock meaning. I agree with Alan Pavio when he says in his book, Imagery and Verbal Processes, for holistic learning to take place, the left side of your brain must cooperate and harmonize with the right side. This cooperation is easy to gain if you make it a habit to convert words into actual pictures or diagrams in your notes, or to convert words into mental pictures or images on the blackboard of your mind. Some think this brain lateralization unlocks secrets to success. Does this make you ready to investigate the graphic novel market further?
Comic books as an art form is something that's really cool. And when you break it down as an art form, you can see that you're taking two art forms and creating something that's more than either one by itself. And we've all heard the phrase that a picture tells 1,000 words, but here we've got a picture that's telling its own story combined with the words. And when people do it right, when they've got a true grasp on the art form, they can do amazing things that could not be done otherwise.
There are several avenues to pursue when thinking about which graphic novels to make available to the public. Here are a list of awards. And to highlight in particular, the Harvey Awards, established in 1988, are selected exclusively by creators, those who write, draw, ink, letter, color, design, edit, or are otherwise involved in a creative capacity of the comics field. Included in nominations for 2010 for this award is The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, wildly popular among upper elementary age kids right now. It is nominated for several categories, such as Best Writer, Best Cartoonist, Best Inker, Best Continuing or Limited Series, Best Graphic Album, and Special Award for Humor in Graphics. The Eisner Award, founded by Will Eisner in 1987, has a professional judging panel, and they base their awards on votes of comics creators, editors, publishers, and retailers. There are a variety of publishers who offer graphic novels, and shown here is a sampling. There are many blogs on this subject, and review sources such as Booklist and School Library Journal are also very helpful. That concludes my look at the subject of graphic novels. I hope I sparked your imagination and interest. Thank you.